I started playing piano when I was 6, and then I stopped because I got bored with piano lessons when I was little. I just didn't want to know. But then I started when I was about 12 or 11, 12, I started playing the Hammond organ because a Hammond organ shop opened in the town where I went to school. And so this really attracted me, the sound, because I could make a big noise. Piano didn't interest me in rock music. I was a professional musician at the age of 13, playing the Hammond organ in the working man's clubs of the north of England. And I was making more than my father. So by the time I should have gone to college, to music college, the Guildhall School of Music in London, I had a brand new car. I was making more than my father. So I thought, no, stuff this, I'm just going to keep going. And I did. And then I started taking my musical profession more seriously in my early 20s and started playing with rock bands. So I moved out of the clubs and started playing in rock bands, and that gradually led to from one thing to another, and then I ended up in Dire Straits in 1980. I'm going to play one or two songs from up to Bob Dylan songs from Infidels. I'm going to play some Dire Straits songs, Romeo and Juliet, Telegraph Road, big long song. Here's another Bob Dylan song. It's called License to Kill, which I played on the Infidels album. Bob described his piano playing to me as steam piano, because he plays dong, dong, dong. He has no subtlety, he just bangs on the piano, but he's really good. I mean, what he does is excellent. What was it like working with him? It was great. I mean, just a few years before I played on the Infidels album, I was lying on my apartment floor listening to the Desire album, Bob Dylan's Desire album. Every night I'd just sit and listen to that album. So when I started working with Bob, the first time I heard the first song we were recording in the studio, and Bob started to sing, it was like, whoa, this is a familiar voice, yeah. And I really liked Bob. Bob was a really sweet guy. He had a lovely smile. He was great to work with, and he just accepted everything that I and the rest of the musicians did. It was a great experience. I loved it.
So, Alan, I wanted to ask you if there's any specific gig, concert that you did that was particularly special for you.
Yeah, I've forgotten most of them because I've played hundreds of them, but the one that stands out has to be Live Aid. We were playing, I think, 12 nights at the Wembley Arena.
So it was a residency, right?
Which is next door, yeah.
Okay.
Which is next door to the Wembley Stadium, which is the football ground where Live Aid. And so I think we went on at 6 o'clock. We played for about 40 minutes or maybe an hour, I can't remember. And then afterwards we quickly left the stage and walked across the car park, had some dinner, and then played another 2.5 hour set to 10,000 people.
Ok, questo è incredibile. È incredibile.
Sting was on holiday in Montserrat, on the island of Montserrat in the Caribbean, where Dire Straits was recording Brothers in Arms. And so he turned up and he came up to my house actually and introduced himself. I'd never met him before, even though we were both from Newcastle. And so we invited him for dinner. And we happened to be working on the track Brothers in Arms, Money for Nothing at the time. So Mark had the idea, why don't we ask Sting to sing I Want My MTV? And that's what he did, and the rest is history, really.